the end. It wasn't supposed to be. I just said to Susie, what about questions? Sir, you can do whatever you want. I don't know if she says that to other people that she's represented over the years, but thank you very much for being here. It's a great honor. And the media, thank you. You can leave now.
Wow. He said they could leave now, and it came down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
This is a nice full room. You know, we have a ballroom being built right now. So in about a year and a half, we'll be able to have about, I'd say 10 times the number. You can invite some friends that couldn't make it today because frankly, this was a sold out crowd, has been ever since I've been president. Every year it's been sold out. So a lot of great friends. Here's your knockout panel, okay? For those that are interested, see that curtain? You open that curtain, and it's a beautiful funnel right into the most beautiful ballroom. It's being built right now. So it's pretty, and they wanted it for 150 years. We're getting it done a lot. We're getting a lot of other things done too. Well, I want to thank you all and welcome you to the White House on this very special occasion. It is indeed. I've been at every one of them, and we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Black History Month. That's a big deal. 100. Wow, that's sort of special, the 100th. That's about as, like 150 is good, but 200 is better, right? 100 is better. I want to begin by expressing our sadness at the passing of a person who I knew very well. Jesse was a piece of work, I want to tell you. He was a piece of work, but he was a good man. He was a real hero, and I just want to pay my highest respects to Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's a good man. He was actually, as you got to know him, he got better and better all the time. A lot of people, you get to know them, they get worse and worse. Jesse got better and better. But I knew him well long before becoming president, and he really was special with lots of personality, grit, and street smarts. You would say Jesse had serious street smarts, right? A very important ingredient to life, I will tell you. He was gregarious and someone who truly loved people and a force of nature. He was somebody that we're going to greatly miss. And on behalf of everyone here today, I know you join me in sending our condolences to the entire family. Got a great family. We're also honored to be joined this afternoon by many exceptional African American leaders and patriots, including Secretary Scott Turner, recommended. Where is Scott? Where is Scott? Will you come up here, Scott? He was recommended by somebody who's very special to me, Ben Carson. Ben Carson. Where's Ben? Where's Ben? Is Ben? Come on up here, Ben. Come here. I gotta get here. And his wonderful wife, Candy. Candy, I'm gonna steal Ben for a second because, you know, Ben recommended Scott. And when Ben recommends somebody, I just do it. Did I make a good decision? Be careful. Don't fall, Ben. If you fall, that's the end. You can never recover from a fall. You know, you can make the greatest speech ever, but if you fall, my predecessor taught me that. So is Scott doing a good job, Ben?
He's doing the best job ever.
Come on, say that. I like that.
You know, one of the reasons I was so high on Scott Turner is he was really the driving force behind the opportunity zones, which doesn't get nearly the attention that it should, but it was because President Trump realized that the best way to get things done is through public-private partnerships and have everybody with skin in the game, and it is working, as are all the other things that he's been recommending. And at some point, the mainstream media will recognize that you don't politicize everything. You open your eyes and your ears and you look and you see what works and you deal with that. But the best thing about Scott, he's got a lot of energy. You know, I'm an old man now. I'll be 75 on my next birthday. And I'm not like President Trump. He just goes forever. But no one else is like that. But Scott Turner, we call him the Energizer Bunny, and he is doing a fantastic job. And I want to congratulate all the people at HUD because most of them have come back and continued with what we were doing during the first Trump term, and it's fantastic.
Thank you very much. Scott?
Well, just very briefly, thank you, Mr. President. We are so grateful for your leadership and for your heart for America. And Dr. Carson, who is a tremendous just leader, servant leader, and been a great mentor to me. And, you know, I never thought that I would see the day where I'm standing between the president and Dr. Ben Carson. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And so I just want to say to everyone that's here, you know, as we celebrate this special day in not only Black history, but American history, this year that we've been here, you know, under President Trump, the Lord has been so gracious to us, and he's been faithful, and the president has been a tremendous leader in his work ethic, his heart for people. And when he says America first, he really does mean America first. Yeah. And so, and to be able to stand on the shoulders of Dr. Ben Carson and for the president to trust Dr. Carson at his word is truly humbling for me. And so to stand now as the servant leader and the secretary of HUD, I'm grateful to the Lord. I'm grateful to the president and Dr. Carson. And I promise you we will continue to do good work and to make not just housing affordable and everybody achieve the American dream, but really to bring transformation. And so that those that are in our country who depend on subsidies and this, that, and the other will get off of that and live a life of self-sustainability. So God bless y'all.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. And Ben mentioned opportunity zones. We did that, and I want to thank Tim Scott because he really, that was his baby. That was his baby, and he did a great job with it. We appreciate it. And again, Candy, thank you very much for being here. Special woman. Ben's getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the biggest. It's the highest award you can have outside of the Congressional Medal of Honor. But it's better because, you know, a lot of people get the Congressional Medal of Honor. They're not around. You get them, they're not around. Whereas we don't have to go that far. Generally speaking, but it's the highest award, civilian And then you have the matching is the Congressional Medal of Honor, both tremendous. So Ben, I'll be seeing you back here pretty soon, I think, and you're gonna get the award. You'll probably fill up this room. I said, we'll do it in the Oval Office. He said, sir, it's not big enough. I said, what? So we're gonna do it right here, okay? And we love it. I'd like to also thank senior counsel to the Assistant Attorney General. He's a fantastic man. He's been my friend for a long time, Leo Terrell. There's no better. We have time, right? Do we have time? Yes? Anybody have to go? Like, come on up here, Leo. Get up here. This guy, he says it like it is. I like Leo. Come here, Leo. Look at you, spry. 2.0. Leo 2.0.
Let me just thank you very much, Mr. President. First of all, we are living under the administration of the greatest president in our lifetime. And we have the hottest country in our lifetime. And I want to make sure the mainstream media knows this, because you represent the people who basically counter what the mainstream media has done. President Trump was the president who fully funded historically black colleges and universities. President Trump took the lead and performed criminal justice reform. President Trump made sure that we had opportunity zones. Let me close by saying this. This country is at a crossroads, and we have the right president at the right time. And if you want school choice, like I know you do, President Trump wants it. If you want a law and order society and secure border, President Trump wants that. And more importantly, I say this because this is the greatest country on the planet. American citizens should decide American election. Vote for the Save Act.
Thank you. Leo 2.0. We love Leo. Thank you, Leo. That was very good. Yeah, 4 more years. Anyway, so he's a special guy. I watched him on Sean Hannity a long time ago. He used to be a Democrat, you know. Leo was a Democrat. That's a long time ago, right? Can you imagine you were a Democrat? I can't imagine it. You'd see him with Leo 2.0 up in the hat. We love him. He's a great man, actually. General Counsel for the Department of War, Earl Matthews. That's a big deal. Thank you, Earl. Thank you very much. I see Johnny over there with a great book. How is the book doing? Good? What a great person you are. Great book. White House Pardon Czar. This is a big job. This is a big job. Alice Johnson. Alice? Where's Alice? What a sweetheart. I met Alice and she was incarcerated for what some people would say today is not even a fine, right, Alice? It's not even a fine. And I said, how long has she been in jail? 22 years. I said, 22 years. And right, Alice? And come on up here, Alice. Come on up. I said, 22 years, and she was on a phone call. This was over a phone call. I know about fake phone calls too, Alice, you know, remember? They tried to get me in a fake phone call. But Alice was in jail for like 22 years. I said, how many years does she have left? 28. I said, 28 years left. And I said it, and I mean, she admitted she made a little mistake, but it was not the kind of a mistake that you serve 50 years in jail for. Like maybe a couple of months, maybe less than that. And I said, this is the most unfair. And then when I met her, I fell in love. I thought my wife was very upset with it. Our great first lady did not like that, Scott. She didn't like it, but Alice is great. And say a couple of words. It was so ridiculous. 22 years, she had 28 left. And I said, let's get her the hell out. And we got her out. We did a commute. And then when I got to know her, she was so high quality. I said, full pardon. So she's cleaner than anybody in this room, even than my friend right here. She's cleaner. Because of that, she's cleaner than anybody in this room.
Thank you, Mr. President. The feeling was mutual. I fell in love with this man, with his heart, with his heart for this country, with his heart to really bring America back to the form of greatness that it deserved. And that's exactly what he has done. My story is truly a Joseph story. This president right here, President Donald Trump, brought me from the prison pit to the White House. Only in America could there be a story like my story. And President Trump is the only president who would have had the courage to bring someone like me, someone who received a second chance, but who knows more than someone who has sit among the captives, than someone who has been in captivity themselves. I did not get comfortable in my own freedom, but I went back. As Harriet Tubman said she did, she went back to draw many others into freedom. And President Trump has listened to those recommendations. There's so much more to come, because when you see me, you see a miracle. You see hope. You see second chances. And you see someone who is willing to roll up their sleeves and do the work, do the hard work to help individuals gain their freedom. President Trump did something historic in his first term. He signed the First Step Act into law. And for that, over 40,000, and that number is low, over 40,000 individuals have come home to their families early. And you know, many of those were Black Americans who had no hope. This president right here, as you look out upon this sea of Black Americans, this president hears you. This president cares for you. Don't let anyone tell you that this president right here, Donald Trump, is not for Black America, because he is. I'm standing here today as a testament to how he feels about Black Americans. There has never been a position like this. I don't know if there ever will be before, but I've worked with him in his first term, and I'm proud to now officially have the title to make it happen. Let's get real with the realness. Let's get behind President Trump, who truly has turned our nation around and made us the envy of every country in the world. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, God, for recognizing and raising up this man to be the leader of the free world. I love him.
Thank you. A great woman. You know, when I was looking for a pardon person, like a pardon czar, they gave me somebody from Harvard, somebody from Yale, somebody from Princeton, somebody from Penn, somebody from Stanford. And I said, do you know anything about it? Well, we can learn. They can. And when I met Alice, I said, she's better than these people. And she's done a fantastic job. You know, I said to Alice, I said, so I'm looking for people like you to let out. How many people are there like you? She said, many. I said, many? In jail. Think of it, 22 years she was in jail, and she had 28 years to go on a phone call. You admit you did a little something wrong, right? But it was like, okay, it wasn't 50 years. Even if you said 6 months, today it would be probably nothing. But even if you said some little time, but I said, I'm looking for other people like you. How many are there? Many. Then I was worried, I said, well, maybe she's going to say everybody should be let out. We're not a believer in that. I said, so Alice, are there people that shouldn't be? You met a lot of people, right? Are there people that shouldn't be let out? Absolutely. Then I felt better. Because there's some bad ones in there too, right? But you are fantastic, and you've been great and so respected all over the country, all over the world in a sense. You've become a very big story. Thank you very much, Alice. I appreciate it. And we have Lynn Patton. Lynn, thank you. You've been such a help. And Kelly Mitchell, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Where's Kelly? Thank you, Kelly. And we have Dr. Alvina King. Thank you, darling. Thank you. You've been with me from day one, right? From day one, she's been there. She's been fighting for me, and I fight for her. I don't have to do too much fighting for her. She takes care of herself. Thank you. Thank you. We can say Merry Christmas is right. Thank you. Thank you for all that support for years, right? Even before Alice, a long time, years before Alice, right? Thank you, darling. Corinne Rankin, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Corinne. And Deontay Johnson, thank you. And a man who's been with me for a long time, and he's never asked me for a thing. Bruce, thank you very much. Bruce Lavelle, thank you very much. I wasn't sure if they had your name down here, Bruce. I was going to mention you anyway, okay? But they had your name. They did a job, finally. They always leave a lot of names out, and that bothers me. Like I see Scott Bessent, his name was left out. First time ever. Look at Scott. I'm looking for his name. I'm looking for his name. I said, I bet he's the greatest Treasury Secretary we've ever had. I think how's the economy doing, Scott? Good? The best. It's really, people are going to see, and watch the State of the Union. We're going to be talking about the economy. We inherited a mess, and now we have prices way down. We have energy way down. Gasoline is now breaking $2 a gallon in many places, and it's been actually amazing, but Scott's fantastic. I don't want to forget to mention him. I'd be in big trouble. All of a sudden, the economy would turn bad on us. I'd say, what happened? It was Scott. Thank you, Scott. And Secretary Lori Chavez de Reamer. Lori, thank you very much. Your Secretary of Labor, Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Diller. How are you doing? How are you doing with Harvard? How are you doing with Harvard? You know, Harvard's extremely discriminatory, unfortunately, and it's working good. Harmeet is on their trail, right? Good, good. You keep suing them, the hell with them. I like the historically black colleges and universities, which I saved. Leo 2.0 said it, but which I saved. We saved them. They had no funding, and every year they'd come back, and I got to know some of the heads, and every year they'd come back, and after my third year, first term, I said, you guys keep coming back. Why do you keep coming back? He said, we have to come back every year. For years and years, they had to come back. And one of them said, one of the heads, a great guy, said, they make us feel like beggars. We have to come back. I said, I'm going to get you long-term financing, and I got it for them. And I said, the only bad thing, I'll never see you guys again. I haven't seen too many of them. But we took care of the historically black colleges and universities, right? And it was a great thing to do. And so many others are in the audience that are just friends of mine. I look at them, so many. But if I introduce all of you, we're going to be here a long time, and that's unacceptable. Not only are we celebrating the century of Black History Month, also, as you know, this year we'll also be celebrating the 250th anniversary of our nation's founding. And the good thing, when they cheated on the election, they made me wait 4 years, and because I waited 4 years, I get the 250th year. I get the Olympics, which I was the one that got it, and I get the World Cup. So I got the World Cup, and I said, you know, it's too bad before all this nonsense took place. I said, it's too bad. I got the World Cup to come here. Johnny, another Johnny, we got the World Cup. It was fantastic, the head of it, one of the great people. And I said, the only bad part is I won't be in office because my 4 years will be up. This would have been the more traditional route. And then they cheated on the election, and I said, now we won by so much. We won by millions of votes, but they cheated. It was during a COVID period, and they cheated. And we did it again, and we made it too big to rig, too big to rig. And by doing that, I ended up getting the Olympics. Because we were responsible for both of them. And we're going to have a great year, but we're going to have a great 3 years. We're going to have hopefully we're going to have a great century, because that's ultimately what I want. We'll get it started. But as we honor America's 250, and I can't say that I got the 250. I tried doing that a couple of times, Bruce. I said, I got the Olympics, I got the World Cup, and I got the 250th year. They said, you didn't do that. I said, you're right about that. I didn't do that. We happened to be here at the right time. That's all that was. But we thank God for the strength and courage and grit and devotion of
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Oh, now we can. This is ridiculous. It really is. I don't know what happened to the sound. It probably cut my sound. I don't know. But like I was saying, that the immigrants, y'all need to think Black Americans and stop listening to the damn lies. Y'all come in, oh, Black Americans, they don't want to work. They don't, we work. They don't. But see, you had the luxury, even though a lot of you crossed the border illegally, that you did not apply for your certificate of naturalization, but y'all came in off of our backs, and the Democratic Party is fighting more for y'all than the people that died and lost their lives for the rights, the Civil Rights Act. And then y'all want to come in our country and look down upon us when we work for free. We were enslaved. We worked for free in this country. And y'all come in like, well, we gonna work. Yeah, off of us. Because without us, you wouldn't be in this country benefiting off of the rights that we fought for, that we died for. So the Somalians, the Haitians, the Jamaicans, the Africans, didn't want anything to do with foundational Black America. Even the blacks that came in, they like, we better than them. Guess what? Y'all are not Black Americans. Y'all immigrated here off of these lies because Black Americans are not lazy and never been lazy. We've been enslaved to build this freaking country. And the reason why we had the 1964 or 65 Civil Rights Act was because of the unfairness that was going on. And it was necessary. So we are completely tired of all of these lies that are going on about people who have worked hard to build this nation. And we deserve the respect. We don't need to be called thugs and criminals, or your neighborhoods are safer when you lock up Black people. Here we go again. That was a beautiful thing that they did at the White House. I'm glad Trump finally acknowledged Black Americans, that he was trying to really, I think, ignore it, because that's what's been going on. But maybe since Reverend Jesse Jackson, who he did have a relationship with, that he felt as though it was something to do, because now those 2 million Black American men that voted for you, 2028, they're not voting for the next Republican, because we're basing everything off of his administration and what has happened since he's been in office as the 47th president of the United States. 45 president of the United States. He did a lot for Black people. The Black employment rate was, I think, one of the highest we've had. Like he said, HBCUs, they were coming every year asking for money for the colleges. That's what was a requirement for them to get the funding that they needed to support the colleges. When Trump came in, Trump said, look, I love seeing y'all, but y'all ain't got to come every year. Even though I love seeing y'all asking for this money, how much do you need? And he gave it to them and then some. So he did a lot the first administration, but now he has people in his administration that any kind of heart Trump has left for Black people, some Black people, because he seemingly loved Tyson and Reverend Jesse Jackson. Now, he used to have a relationship with Oprah. But for everyday Black Americans that say you're safe, he's in the city of Memphis where they have locked up 5,000 more Black, probably men. So it wasn't no 5,000 Black men walking around committing crime with the National Guards there. They locking them up as they see them and trumping up charges on them because they need more slavery. That's what you do. You lock up Black people and then brainwash. Y'all safer now. Y'all safer because we locking up the Black men again. So then people say, how come Black men aren't taking care of their families? Because they keep locking them up. They're keeping the birth rate down, put Planned Parenthood in our neighborhoods. That's why we should have bigger numbers. They kept our birth rate down on purposely. But they don't mind Hispanics coming in this country and everybody else. But Black people are always a threat. You know why? Because we're the first people that ever existed on this earth. Everyone was birthed out of a Black woman. God didn't create man from the dirt and person was white. The first people that ever existed on this earth were Black. The white white people didn't come around until what was it, like the 1600s or whatever? That's a new mutilation of black people. But I think all black people, they just light-skinned black people at this point. That's all they are. Everyone started from Africa. And then later on through years, they went out. And when they went to the colder climates, I guess they had to adapt. But everyone started from black people. And the more we learn about our history, the more we see all of the maneuvers to keep us from knowing our history and who we are is what the problem is. The oldest Bible in the world is the Ethiopian Bible that was untouched. Christianity didn't just start when the Europeans did the King James Version. It started, the Ethiopians already had the Bible. And it's been practically untouched from the beginning. So it's a lot about us, and there's a lot more that have to be done. But look, moving forward, like we said, 45, Trump impressed me. That's made me want to support Trump because he wasn't a racist. He treated people fairly. He actually acted like he cared about black people. Trump 47 with Stephen Miller and Elon, you know how many black women lost their jobs since he's been in office, who holds down the household because they want to lock up black men? And this how you keep black people in poverty? This is what's been going on. They're doing it again. Black men are now being targeted again. And here, those people that were at that, like, yeah, he said, you're safer now. You're safer now. That's a lie from hell. Where are the red states at? There's 13 red states, more states that are red that have more crime than any blue state. Why aren't, and they have Republican governors go in there and you lock up those white men that are doing mass shootings, that are killing cops. I mean, they kill cops like it's sport, and they don't say nothing about it. They do more rapes, more pedophiles, more murders, but they're not there. But then they're going to brainwash you. You're safer now because as long as you have the top of the food chain labeling black men or black people as thugs, then the rest of the world, when they come over here, oh, they thugs, they lazy, they don't work. That's a stereotype. We work hard. And with all that work that we have done, that these people have the audacity to benefit. Y'all are not better than us. Y'all didn't build this nation. Immigrants didn't build this goddamn nation. We did. Were y'all enslaved? Did y'all work for free? Did y'all pick cotton? Did y'all build that damn White House? Y'all going to stop this year. Y'all are going to stop these lies. Because one thing I like about now, you can Google anything. Fact check. If you don't believe anything that I am saying, you have it at your tools within seconds. You can go to ChatGPT. You get the statistics. Go to the FBI website and look at statistics and see who commits the most crimes. Who's committing the crimes? It's not us. Who's the biggest threat? It's never been us. But they can tell you that. It's never been that. Well, how we go from chains and shackles and we the biggest threat? We have never done all these barbaric things that has been done to us. But then we're going to flip the script and we're the dangerous ones? We're not the dangerous ones. Let's be clear. We have never, did we ever run this country? Did we run this country into a $38 trillion debt? Do we have all the, we got one black governor or whatever in this country? How many? 1, 2? I don't even know how many. We only got one black senator, Senator Scott. We're not running this country. The judiciary system is made about white men, white people. So it's not us. But they have the power to paint whatever picture they want to, and they want to keep us down. Every time we rise up, start our own communities like Black Wall Street, they burn it down to the ground. They don't even want us to compete. We open up our banks, they close them down. Where even all these immigrants have come into this country, they still focus on us because they know our greatness. You can't hide a light. Just like it says in the word. You can't hide a light. God has set it on a hill. He said, let your light shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. You can't hide our light. We brought culture to America. American culture is Black Americans. Every style, you got white people wearing dreads. Every style, hip hop, from rock to pop to country, we started all of it. All of it. Inventors, from flashlights, to helping with electricity, to a Black woman, what she created with AI or whatever, GPS. They don't tell you all of our inventors and inventions that have been stolen from us. We are geniuses. We're innovators. We're engineers, doctors, lawyers. We're respectable. We have more multi-millionaires, I guess, next to any other culture. And we have billionaires. We're not just sitting around. We work hard and we want the best for our children. But it's always been a fight because of the threat that our genius will come through. And that no matter what you do, we're resilient. We shall rise. Like Maya Angelou said, we're going to rise. We shall rise. The things that have been done to us, and then we're still labeled. The other ethnicity wiped out a whole community of people, the indigenous Indians. Guess what? Black people was here. Columbus, when he came, Black people were already here. Did you know that? And then Trump comes into office, and history is such a threat that he wants to go to Smithsonian, and you want to remove our history? The things that your ethnicity did to us? We're not running from it. We embrace it. It keeps us strong. And you need to know it's American history what happened to Black people in this country for 400 years. It's our history. And we embrace it. And we're not going to ignore our ancestors that did not have an opportunity to have freedom and be able to go to school, be able to vote, to be able to get a job, things that we're able to do today. And we're not going to say it wasn't us. Well, that didn't happen to you. Well, it happened to my great-great-great-great-grandfather, okay? I'm not going to ignore it. They deserve better than that. You don't tell Jewish people, oh, forget about the Holocaust. It didn't happen to you. 6 million people died. But they got reparations. But you want to get reparations still to white men today because now they're the victims, but they're the most hired. And they hold all the offices. Get out of here. Ain't nobody falling for those lies because we're living in a time when you got internet and chat and you got world news. The world is on here. And it's spreading throughout the world, our history. You can't hide it anymore. Before, you just had newspapers. What, Benjamin Franklin? I think he had like maybe the first newspaper. He was the first postmaster general in the United States of America. And they only had newspapers. They didn't reach everybody. Even though he did the post office and he, did the maps and everything. He did amazing things for this country, Benjamin Franklin. But the thing about it is that now you got the speed of light. You got Siri, you got Google, you got Chat GPT, you got Ground News, you got Twitter, that's now known as X. Don't nobody call it that. You have TikTok, you have YouTube, you have so many content creators that the truth won't be hidden. Just like they went into Philadelphia and you think that the first president of the United States, he had 6 slaves, and they're telling you the history of it because they had the foundation there from where the president's house used to stand at, but you could look down at it. I'm going to go there because they had removed the histories, but they've been ordered to put it back. They have to put it back, but that's coming from Trump administration. They're trying to remove all of the horrendous things that have been done in my community. No, we want to see it. We want to remember it. Not out of hate and malice, because it belongs to us. It's our history. We're not from, we might have originated from Africa, but we are Americans. All we know is America. This is our history here. This is our history here. people that just came in from other parts of the world, regardless of if you just came from India, you could go back to India. That's your history. You just came here. You're an immigrant. We're not immigrants. We were enslaved. This is our history. And we do have history. It's here. But all that disrespect, as hard as we work, and what's been done to us, it's all out in the open. We are not the threat to America. We are not the thugs of America. It's not us. We have never been in charge. The only thugs that's been in America have been unrighteous white men, not black people, because we have never led. We have never been in charge for 250 years. It hasn't been us. We had one black president, and his only motivation was being the father of the LGBTQ. He started that. That's when they came up with all these other letters, the alphabet club. He didn't even focus on us at all. And then during Black History Month, how can you celebrate Black History Month, but then you put up a picture of the former president's wife as apes, which has always been to denounce our humanity. It was done intentionally. And then you come and you celebrate it. You can't be on both sides of the fence. Like the Lord said, you can't serve two masters. Either you love the one or hate the other. If you're a racist or whatever, be that damn racist. Don't smile in your black co-workers' faces or the ethnicity, the Jewish people or whomever you have a problem. Don't smile in their faces. If you that person, be that person. Because it's something in you that's lacking. When you're racist, it's a fear you have within yourself that you feel as though somebody's more superior than you. That's not even trying to be more superior than you. That's where racism come in. They feel threatened by your presence. No matter what they have, you walk into the room, they can feel your royalty that has stepped in. They know how smart we are. But they want to snuff it out. Firing over 300,000 and someone saying 500,000 black women from living wage jobs. That's nothing to celebrate. Give them their goddamn jobs back. Elon was never elected into office. He came in and you're targeting black women? No, we didn't vote for that. Those 2 million black men, hopefully none of them got arrested in this black, they doing this black tour of going into, they know blue cities that more black people live in. So you're safe now. We coming in and you got black people applauding because some of us are dumb asses no matter what. You don't applaud and you find out who are y'all arresting. How you arrest 5,000 people? Ain't no way in hell 5,000 people out there committing crimes with National Guards and people out there. And you're just saying that Stephen Miller, we're going just as hateful and evil and try to say that they're a Christian. God is not in. They act like the devil. There's not no Christianity there. Because God is for the human race. There is no all-white. You can do an all-white community here on earth, but there's no all-white freaking section in heaven. You're not superior in heaven. And you talking about you love the Lord? Who are you fooling? You might as well just go ahead and worship Satan out and out and stop using the Lord's name in vain. Because God is not about, you're the new race to this planet. We've been here from the beginning, black people. White people are the new race of people. Look it up. Look it up. We're going to be real. We're not going to sugarcoat anything on this channel. We're not going to sugarcoat. When Trump does something I approve of, I say it. I'm glad he closed the borders because how are we supposed to take care of 14 million plus homeless people that is coming in here getting on our welfare? That hurts all Americans. And then they try to say we don't want to work. You come in and the jobs that black American men were getting, because once they go to prison, a lot of them were getting the construction jobs and all. Then you decide to give it all to the immigrants. You could pay them under the table and stuff like that. You're hiring them to work in your restaurants. So they did take black jobs. And that's what Trump was saying the first administration. They were coming in when he said they're taking black jobs. Those were jobs that were occupied by black men. Not saying that black people were not engineers, vice presidents, president of the United States, and all that. But they were convicting us. And that's what the jobs that were available when they come out. Now they're being distributed to them. And then now Trump came back, President 47th, and now I'm like, now you're looking like the Democratic Party. So I'm an independent voter at this point. I'm an independent voter, not for Democrats or Republicans. It's who's going to do best for all Americans. You can't have a country that's going to stand on solid ground divided. You can't have a divided house. We are a divided house in this country. We have to be one nation under God. And until we meet that, then we're going to go under. We're going to continue to go down, because everything might look great to you, but you better prepare right now, because all that, everything that's gold, that glitter is not gold. So you got to prepare now. Start prepping, because things are happening that you don't understand. Like the dollar's being devalued around the world. Your dollar doesn't have the spending power that it used to have. A lot of people don't invest in stock market and everything. So when Trump talk about the stock market and all that, that's for investors. But everyday people are not doing. They trying to live from paycheck to paycheck, which that's the worst thing you can do. You have to have more than one source of income, period, for all Americans. And you need a two household families, two household parents working. But if you're locking up a high percentage of a culture of men, then that's hurting the household. And black women have been holding it down because we're built like that. That's why men of all ethnicities, they love black women, because guess what? We ride and die. We will fight for you. We make you better. And we keep it real. And we're beautiful. We're beautiful. We're beautiful. So the only thing I am happy that Trump, I guess, they start looking at the numbers, because they are the Republicans. Trump is not going to be able to run in 2028. And Republicans and MAGA is like two separate entities. You know, it's like MAGA is a branch of the Republicans. All Republicans aren't in agreement with Trump. Whoever they choose to run, you're gonna do all this to the black community, and we're supposed to say, oh, well, that's not going to happen. You have to earn our votes. We're looking at policy. We're not going to vote just for anybody because you're a Republican. We're not going to vote for anybody because you're a Democrat. You have to show, what are you going to do for us? We're not going to listen to you. We don't want to see Megan Thee Stallion shaking her ass, or Cardi B, or some black entertainers while you still do nothing for this community. That's not going to happen. Because we're waking up. It's not about party. It's about, what are you going to do for all of us? And all those immigrants is riding off our backs that want to disrespect us as black Americans. You better start telling us thank you. Now y'all running talking about why we not out there protesting with y'all. Y'all, we not coming out there. We already did our work. We already got the civil rights bill. We did all the legwork. Now it's on y'all. Y'all not fighting for us. Y'all never stood for black Americans. And now they coming after y'all. Then y'all like, where the black Americans at? And you got now Somalians, everybody, they would never say they were black. Now they trying to tell me they black. Y'all not blending in with us. Everybody knows the difference. Jamaicans ain't black Americans. Haitians, Somalians, all the different people from Uganda, Nigeria. Y'all not black Americans. We are. Like y'all say, y'all Nigerian. Y'all Haitian. Y'all Indian. You know, y'all everything else. But we are FBAs. And we want to see our history. We don't want Trump. We don't want our history removed. We stand on it. We embrace it. We're not ashamed of it. We're great people and we know it. All those lies, we're tired of it. Tell the truth. Go into them red states that have higher crime rates. Go invade them. Lock up all those white men that's committing crimes. Lock up all those other ethnicities. Don't keep trying to make us the scapegoat for America when we have been the most loyal, the most dedicated, the hardest workers. How do you take the hardest workers that have been enslaved by this country, that receive free labor, became billionaires off our backs, and then call us lazy? What kind of bamboozle bull crap is that? Talking about flipping the script. Nah, dog, it is not happening in 2026. You have to be real, because we see you. And all y'all do is try to pin black Americans against white Americans. I'm talking about the middle class, poor people, upper middle class. Y'all try to have us fighting each other while y'all do nothing for us. All of us. None of us. Y'all not helping any of us. But as long as we fighting each other, and you have people that are racist and they just are afraid. They're so afraid that they won't have white privilege that they want to be racist. Like, we're not taking anything from you. You have everything. You have everything. But as long as you feel that way, then they could pick your pockets and give you nothing. That's the game that Johnson said, former President Johnson. He said all you gotta do is let, I guess, like a poor white American think that he better than a black American, and you could pick his pockets. And that is the truth. It's still going on today. And it stops now, because we know everything that's been said and told to us, it has been lies. And I said a lot of profound things. I don't know what was captured and not captured. I didn't plan on doing this about Black history this morning because I wanted to do comparisons, which I probably still will do, of Trump's first term and his term now, and how it has negatively, this second term, affected Black Americans. How all this racism is going on in that White House. That White House is really all white. It's mainly all white people in leadership. There's in the diversity in DEI. Trump hired nothing but DEI. All those white women, Pam Bondi, Christie, Noam, all of them, they're DEI hires. Because more white women were hired by DEI than any other ethnicity. White women. It benefited white women more than anyone else. So when he say DEI, look at Pam Bondi. Look at Carolyn Leavitt. Look at Christy Noam. Look at what's her name? I can't even think her name. Whatever her name is. Look at the white women that he's put in position. Look at them. They are DEI hires. So you had the white men, and the people that complain about DEI are not Black people, because we were like number 9 on the totem pole. Diversity, equity, inclusion supposed to be for us. And no, it didn't happen, dog. White women was top of the food chain. Then maybe Hispanics, Asians, indigenous, Indians, disabled, vets, seniors. Then at the bottom of the list, as usual, then Black people, but we the face of it. We always the face of crime. We're the face of DEI when we don't benefit from any of it. And then we're lied about. We're some of the nicest, most productive, and supportive people in this country. Ask the Democratic Party hasn't done a damn thing for Black people. Ask them. But that's going to stop. This next election is not going to be about immigrants. It's going to be about what you're going to do for foundational Black Americans. They're not voting. Those immigrants are not voting. They're not going to put you in office. If y'all don't think y'all need a Black vote, watch what happens. Democrat Party. Y'all going to stop shitting on my community. Well, all y'all lies. Y'all don't fight for us. All the things that's been done. When have y'all been into a Black prison and say, when have y'all visited there? That you went to an American prison and see all of the corruption, all the rapes, all the injustices and mistreatments that's being done in there, and all these over sentencings and all of these things that y'all not looking into. But when the immigrant is at a detainment center, y'all want to make sure he got air conditioner, how they eat. Y'all there want to risk your jobs to fight for them, but you're not fighting for us. All these Black people being unjustly put in prison. Where are y'all? Y'all know what's happening. They locking up our children now. That's what they did in Washington. And they throw away the key. You got babies in these prisons because of this administration. Talking about Trump was talking about lock them up now because of what they might do later on. They're children. He was convicted for 34-count felony, and he's the president of the United States. And Byron Donalds, who then rewrote the 1994 crime bill, they got this dumb-ass black man to do that, to lock up our children. And you got Perino, who's this racist witch-looking character, and she's going, locking up our children. And they tell me, you could go in restaurants. Now, nobody was scared to go in restaurants. They're not going to restaurants because it costs too much to go out to eat. You'd be better off buying expensive groceries than going out and paying $100 for just 3 people. Like if you have a mother, father, and a child, you're paying $100. By the time you order your meals and your beverages, and you got to leave a tip, that's an easy $100. Easily. So it's a lot of work that has to be done. You safer now as long as you lock up black. No, you safer you locked up white people, Hispanic. You lock up the criminals. It's not relegated to one ethnicity. And it's not us. It's not regulated to that. Look up the statistics of crimes and who's committing it. And I'm talking about the horrendous crimes like murder, rape, pedophilia, all that. Look it up if you want the truth. It's easier to hate and to be racist when you are afraid because of whatever you're lacking. Maybe you don't want it to be fair because then you don't have privilege. Maybe that's what it is. But we're not going to sugarcoat anything on here. Usually I do my thing. I didn't even do it because I didn't even plan on doing this. But some things need to be said. I'm going to go more into it, deep into this administration. And what's being said, what's true, what's not true. And how my community in 2026 is still being attacked. The same way as the Democratic Party has been doing. So I'm like, okay, where do we stand at? The Democratic Party did Ku Klux Klan, Jim Crow, 1994 crime bill that caused mass incarceration of black people. They filibustered the Civil Rights Act over 70 days. Republicans were the ones that pushed everything. Republicans were the ones that freed slaves. It was the Republicans. I don't know how stuff got flipped, but it did. It was the Republicans. They did more for black people. But somehow it got flipped. And like the Democratic Party became the party supposed to be of the people. But they're not the party of black people. That's an illusion. They don't even talk about us, what they can do for us, what they got in plan for us. They've been in charge for, like Trump was, like they were saying, they were in charge 12 of the last 16 years. They didn't do anything for black Americans, not a damn thing. When they had the House, they had the Senate, they had the presidency, they had everything. They don't do anything when they have everything for black people. They do more right now for illegal immigrants, non-citizens, than they do for black Americans, even though we're still being attacked. And the NAACP, the president, you don't need to be president. You weak. You quiet. You weak. You don't represent us. I'm going to do a whole thing on you. He's weak. They got these people that are probably being paid not to talk. I've called these offices over and over again, left my name, Congressional Black Caucus, what's her name, Yvette or whatever, the president, because I like talking to the top. I don't like talking to peons. I like talking to movers and shakers, people that could do something. I don't want to talk to no intern or someone that can't make a difference. I always talk to the head because, I'm used to being a leader. Talking to heads. I might have to run myself because we need people that's not in it for money or being persuaded or being paid to dog all of us out. They're being paid not to represent you. We need true leadership. I called the Congressional Black Caucus, I don't know how many times. Never got a call back with my concerns. Where are you at while all these atrocities are happening in today's time to Black community that's not being reported, that's being swept under the rug, while our brothers and sisters are unjustly being locked up at massive numbers for slave labor? Right in our face. We're not going to stand quietly and watch injustices. And like Trump, he did the Black History Month because I guess he see them numbers are falling because that Black support is not there. You got a token few that was in that room, but the things that's been going on in this administration, you can't be an out and out racist calling us thugs from the top, lock up our children, do all these things against us, fire almost 500,000 Black women from living wage jobs. You know what a living wage jobs buy you a single home? Send your kids to college? That you are living the American dream? They take those away. You have to work 3 jobs to make that type of money. That means now your kids have no one in the household to raise them. Then they get caught up in the judiciary system because nobody's there to raise them. And then they say, look at them. This has been just going around. So, and they like decades ahead of us. They plan all this out. All this shit that they do is planned out years ahead and how they implement it. Like now they're saying Project 2025 that I never had believed in. They said like 75% of that has already been implemented. 75%. So a lot of it's been true. And we're tired of it. And we are not going to stand idly by and watch both parties do nothing for us. Black people, don't give your damn votes to goddamn Democrats. Don't just give it to them. They haven't done nothing. They have been the racist party of America. These are facts. Even the old Republican Party, Mitt Romney and them, they were not running as racist. They weren't as racist, some of them, as what we have now. What we have now in the White House, I don't know how much how much influential they are with Trump, but he's doing a lot of ill things towards Black people while he's praising us. You know, his actions speak louder than words. He want to pardon January 6th. You need to pardon all them people that you locked up that didn't deserve to be locked. You did not go into you do have criminals in every neighborhood. You have criminals in red states, but they're not there. Why not? Ask yourself, they got more criminals at a higher rate in the red states, 13 in the red states, than Chicago. Why aren't they there? Because they're targeting Black people. Because they got everybody believing you lock up Black people. Now y'all say, if he right there in a room full of Black people, and I think he said it was in Memphis or Tennessee, because I was watching the governors, the Black American history, because I started out with the governors and then they switched to Black history. That's how I got on this, because I didn't even plan on doing that this morning. And you're going to stand in the room and they're going to cheer that on, not knowing he's slapping you in your face. We're going to stop these games. And we're going to look at everything is available. You could check out things, look it up yourself. Look it up yourself. But Black people are not, foundational Black people are not lazy. We built this country. Those are lies from hell. Y'all lock our Black men up. Then Black women left to raise the kids. Then they have absent fathers. The fathers come out. They can't get jobs. Then being in prison. In order to be in prison, they had to toughen up. They had to become a criminal to survive prison. There's no help for them in prison. Why you think they're allowing rape? Rape is a damn crime, whether you're in prison or not. Why you think they allow rapes to happen in prison? They're allowing rapes. They put children with these men. They allow rapes to happen. If though somehow it's not a crime. The crimes they're in jail for are not rapes. They're in jail paying their debt to society. But then the law has been being broken inside of prisons. Where are these congressmen and women fighting about why is this still going on? Why? Where are y'all? And Congressional Black Caucus, NAACP, you will hear from me again. Because you're not doing y'all jobs. Y'all need to be voted out. If I had a campaign or monies, whatever, I would run for those positions because I'd rather have someone who's real than have all these fake people that's not about the people. I'm tired of it from the top to the bottom. Tired of all these politicians being paid off, selling us all out, and having Democrats blaming each other and Republicans. They blame, long as they have Republicans blaming Democrats, Democrats blaming Republicans, they keep us fighting, then they're not doing their jobs. Then they don't have to pass laws and legislations that will better for the betterment of this country. You know, so anyway, I'm going to do another one. I didn't plan on this. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe. For Speak the Truth 2.0, I had taken time off because I was like looking at the channel, like, what do I want to do with this channel? Speak the Truth is raw, is real, and we're not going to sugarcoat. It said, has Trump been the president for Black Americans? 44% say yes, and 56% say no. So 44% says yes, he was the president for Black Americans at one time. He did more than Obama did for Black Americans when he was president 45. But this president 47, he's went rogue. You know, Stephen Miller never been voted, but his racism come through his pores. He has a disdain and hate for Black people, and I don't know what he's like a scared man. You know, that like his race gonna be extinguished or whatever. I don't know what it is. It's not. Nobody treats anybody as harsh as white men have treated Black Americans, indigenous people, and other ethnicities. It's not us. We're not the threat. We have never been the threat. But as long as you believe Black Americans are the threat, that's what the biggest issue is. We're not the threat. We've never been the threat. It's not us. But as long as you believe it, then that's all that matters to the people at the top. As long as we can keep brainwashing you that Black people are the problems of this country, then that's it. It's not, you know, this, I want you to start watching MS Now. It's not MS Now. This is called history. The Democrats, one thing they didn't do was go in and try to remove our history. You know what that means? For someone to try to remove your history, and for to have a president from the top calling you thugs and lock your children up now because they're going to be the future criminals or whatever. And then to have Black man to write up the new crime bill to lock up our Black children. They got Representative Byron Donalds to write that up, and he was locked up twice and given another chance. You know, he was locked up as well. You got all these people that were locked up that were criminals, and they're doing the same, like you said, hurt people, you know, hurting people hurt people. I guess it's true. The truth is the truth. It's not no MS Now. It's not MAGA. You have to do right by all the people. The truth is the truth. I could come on here and lie, be like Officer Tatum, the Hodge twins, Anton Dan, all these Black Perspective, all these people, the Cartier family, they all cater to what the white community wants to hear. And they get all this money. They get tons of money. They get all these super chats. They making fortunes. That could be this channel. Because most of the people that ever watch this channel have been Republicans, MAGA. But we're about the truth. We're about what's right. Because we don't serve man, we serve God. I'm not beholden to the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. I'm beholden to God. I serve Jesus Christ. And I got to stand before God. I'm going to do what's right, not what a party is doing. I want all of us to do well, not regulated to one nationality. It has to be for all of us. But the truth is the truth. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Both parties need to do better. The Democrat Party and the Republican Party, both of them need to do better. Our representatives are supposed to be our voice. They're not. They fight each other, call each other names while they're doing nothing for us. as a nation. As a nation. When people go in these supermarkets and you spend $100, you can't even if you buy meat, you might have 5 items. You can't even see it. Gas bills, mortgages, everything is still, people are still feeling the pains of the economy. Even though they say inflation is down, interest rates is down, and Trump is doing a lot trying to control it. But when the dollar is being devalued, there's only but so much he can do, especially in a 4-year term. But all this outside of the economy, all this in-house fighting that goes on between both parties, I'm tired of it. Why they do nothing for us. And until we wake up and demand both better from each party, then this crap is going to continue. And is your family doing better? Is your life better? You should be focused on your families. Because if you think you're doing better, but your neighbor not doing better, then you're still not winning. Because you're still living next to that neighbor. So everybody has to do well. If I voted for a Republican, but my congressman is a Democrat, he still has to represent me. I'm still a voter that has to be represented. They still have to represent you. So you can't be talking down about a certain party when you got to represent everybody. And President Trump, here it is, Trump, you're not just the president of Republicans or MAGA. You're the president of the United States of America, of all Americans, including the left that you talk about harshly. They're not the left, they're Americans. And non-citizens, you have to apply for citizenship. We have laws here that we have to follow, and so do you. You're not special. And we got to follow the laws, so do you. How you going to come into our country, break the laws, and feel as though that we don't have a right to implement our laws? But Americans, we got to follow the law. If we break the law, we go to prison. You think you're not supposed to go to prison for breaking our laws? That's not, no. You got to apply for citizenship. You got to earn to be here. That's why we're being so disrespected. You think we owe you something for coming into our country. Well, we got Americans that's out on the street right now trying to survive the goddamn cold. We got vets out there that need health care that are living on the streets. We got Americans living in freaking vans and cars, but we housing your asses in luxury apartments and giving you SNAP and health care and education, cars, money, cash benefits. While Americans that paid their tax dollars, we're taking care of you. We need to be focused on America first, taking care of Americans. I hate if I see a homeless American when I know what we've done for non-citizens. We went all out our way, the Democratic Party, to house, feed, to give them whatever they wanted. They were getting tens and thousands of dollars of cash benefits, $3,500 a month SNAP bill, health care, Medicare, Social Security. They were getting Social Security. They were getting everything. Ain't going to try to determine who's voted president in our elections? You're going to determine our president? Are you kidding me? Because they want a new voting block? And they got black Americans, they got us on lockdown. Guess what, Democrat Party? You're going to have a rude awakening in 2028 if you don't do anything for us. We're not voting for you. Ain't no more giving us these entertainers and putting Planned Parenthood at the DNC. Eliminating babies at the DNC. That's what we doing for you, America. Get out of here. Killing your babies, but then you want white women to have more babies. Right, okay, got the memo. Got the memo. We're going to stop this crazy. And we have to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better as Americans. We have to do better, whether y'all like it or not. And look everything up. You want to know who committed the crimes? Go ask ChatGPT. That's the easiest way for some of you. Go to Ground News. I subscribe to Ground News because it shows you the Republican side and it shows you the Democratic side. It's non-biased. It shows you both sides, how people, what they believe in and their stance. So this way you can develop your own opinion. I like listening to Trump to hear him for myself. That's why I put him on this channel, so that it's not then the media can't flip what he's saying. I can hear it myself. Because by the time it reaches the news, then they're going to, whichever channel you're listening to, whether it's Fox News or MS, MS, what is MSB, and what is it called? MS Now, whoever you're listening to, then they're going to have you think the way that they want you to think. But it's best to hear things for yourself, and then you can develop your own opinion, So, the media is they do a lot. And if you just cut on the news, CBS, ABC, these other news channels that we only depended on, now we have broader news broadcasts. You have content creators, you have people that have boots on the ground, and you can hear it for yourself before it's diluted by the news, mainstream media. They dilute everything. So can't nobody tell me, well, this is what Trump said. No, I heard his interview for myself before it's diluted. Or when any president, any politician, listen to it for yourself. Hear them live yourself. Find out the information for yourself. And then you can formulate opinion before it's diluted and misguided by the media, and they get you to believe what they want you to believe. But as long as they try to keep us divided and all of this, the America is not going to get better. And we got bigger problems. We got people in this country other than, you talking about open border. Who came in on the open border? Y'all not paying attention. Everything and anybody came in here. That we have never been more, I believe, under a threat than we are now since what the Democrats have done. Opening up those borders. Because you allow terrorists to come into this country. The Democrats allowed over 350 terrorists and only took 19 to take down the Twin Towers in New York and try to take out the Pentagon. We got the cartel here. We got ISIS here. We got MS-13 gangs, Trinidad Raga. We got 50,000 Chinese nationalists. We got all kinds of people that's inside this country. They've been even trying to bring in chemicals into this country. Some of the Asians that they've been catching at the airport, they put that stuff in our water. You shut down our water, our infrastructure, we're done. Those are the things that are the biggest threats, not black people. But y'all keep looking at us while we got all kinds of stuff that's going on inside of this country. Everyone that came in this country is not friendly. And guess what? We got the Democratic Party out there fighting for them. You're fighting for these terrorist groups. You're fighting. They were getting our benefits. They coming in here and we taking care of them. Isn't that ironic? And y'all out there fighting tooth and nail. Like they're not supposed to apply for citizenship. Like they're not supposed to follow our laws. Like it's okay for them to commit a crime and then they're released and they won't allow ICE to pick them up. Already committed crimes since they've been here. These are crimes that they trying to pick up people that committed crimes since they've been here. And look at this crazy. So it's a lot. Worship to all have heard. That's what we're doing now. 28:19. We got to get the word out and being disciples of men. Because Jesus said he come back once all have heard. And we got to do better. Y'all keep on following men. Y'all better be looking up for Jesus because we're living in the last days and he's coming back soon. He's coming back soon because all this stuff that's going on, all this evil, all this wickedness, it's real. The devil is real, just in case y'all don't believe that. Heaven is real. Hell is real. Demons are real. Angels are real. It's all real. There are other realms in this world. All that stuff is real. God is real. And the Bible tells you, you're going to stand before him. You could go out, you could lead this life, but you not believing, but you believe once you enter into that second life and you experience that second death. Because it ain't over with when you think that, it all ends once you die. Nah, that's the beginning of eternity. That's the truth. That's the honest to God truth. Our lives here are like vapors, just like it says in the Bible. They're vapors. You're lucky you live, you're a baby if you live to be 120 years. You're a baby. You are a baby. Compare that to trillions of years of eternity. You're a baby. And you certainly don't want to spend it in a lake of fire. The demons ripping out your flesh, and you can't even die. You're gonna feel all the pain. You can't even die again. That's it. You better wake up. Wake up. You better wake up. I know it's true. You can go out of this life believing that it's not true all you want to, but I promise you that you will find out. God said every mouth shall confess and every knee shall bow that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, that He's Lord. And He died for your sins. You will say it and you will bow. And you could go out this life not believing, because the only time you could be saved is while you still are breathing. You can't say, oh, now I believe. Oh, I didn't know. You can't even go out like that. I wouldn't even risk that. Read your Bible. Let God speak. Read your Bible and then say it's not real. Then say it. You believe, you don't think evil is real? Hate is real? You see all the heinous things that evil people do? You don't think evil is real? It's real. It's real. You don't think that people being good, you don't think that's real? You think man created the heavens and the earth and how many insects and species and birds and reptiles and humans and all these animals, and you know how complex our bodies are? You think man constructed the body? That we just happened? Yeah, Jesus is the only way. All your good works, all how nice you are, how much you've given millions to charities, fed the poor, that's not going to get you into heaven. The only way to go to heaven is through the Son. You have to believe in Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. That's the only way. And you have to believe in your heart and confess in your mouth. You just can't say, you have to believe it. I wholeheartedly believe it. You have to believe it. I can't die for my sins. I can't duplicate what Jesus has done. I can't go out here and do all good works. People might think what I'm doing on here, just telling you about the word of God's good works. That's not going to get me into heaven. But believing will. Believing will. So we got to get this right, America. We got to be about America first. That means all Americans, Black Americans, white Americans, Indian Americans, Hispanic Americans, all of us. That's what it has to be about. And this nonsense need to divide. I don't know Trump having that. I think that he has fractured the relationships because he's saying what he's saying. But I'm going to do a show on the statistics, what has happened, looking at his record from 45, president, and president 47. And do the comparisons of, because he talked a lot about the First Step Act and all that was phenomenal. That's what I was supporting Trump. That's all I talked about. That what the Democratic Party, I didn't know all the horrendous things that the Democratic Party had done to Black America. I didn't know. I have videos. I could put up all kinds of receipts with me, with every Democratic leader you can think of in the rooms and engagements, everything. Everything. I think I just have one up just with me and Biden, but I've been with Biden many times, with Bernie Sanders, all these officials and leaders. But we have to do better. We have to do better. And Republicans, if y'all think that y'all can mistreat Black people, you're so emboldened, because I see how J.D. Vance run around. J.D. Vance is full of himself right now. He's married to an Indian woman that's blacker than I am. Indians are Black. Everybody comes from a Black person, Black woman. They Black. Most of the world is Black, have melanin in their skin. And he walks around trying to ride on Trump's train. He can't ride on Trump's train. He's going to have to stand on his own merit. He's not going to be able to ride what Trump has done. You know, it doesn't matter. You got these little weak little men with little balls. You know, they so afraid of Black excellence. They're afraid of Black excellence. I love who I am. I'm proud to be Black. I'm proud. I love my color. I love being who we are. There is none like us. I am happy to be black. That you got so many people that's trying to be like us all over the world. You got Asians trying to talk black, act black, dress black. Everybody trying to be, you got white people. Everybody copy our style, our swag, our music, everything we do. We define everything. But they try to be like us. But it's a lot that we have to be proud of, and we're not going to allow anybody to take anything away from us. Nobody's going. I don't know. They probably going to flag this. I love being black.
When in the midst of sorrow, you can see up when looking down.
Go ahead, black people.
Tomorrow will bring.
That's who we are.
You hear the voice of reason telling you this can never be done. No matter how hard reality seems, let's hold on to your dreams. Don't give up, don't give in, though it seems you'll never win. You will always have the test. All that you keep your head to the sky. You can win as long as you keep your head to the sky. You can win as long as you keep your head to the sky. Be optimistic. Be optimistic. Be optimistic. Be optimistic. Be optimistic.
I love being black. And yes, you are black. You did lose your color because everybody comes from a black woman. All y'all come from a black woman. Everybody was birthed from a black woman. God didn't take dirt and form a white woman or a white man. Y'all all came from a black woman. Yeah, you're light skinned. And you're the newest race. White people are the newest race. And it's funny how they hide all this history. You know, that's a lot of y'all got a lot of black features, and y'all like, why y'all got noses like this? Why y'all got lips like this? You know, so some of y'all got thick hair and everything. And it's like because y'all come from black people, and those are facts. Look it up. Those are facts. But God is so good. I'm so thankful to God and everything He's done. And like what they did in Philadelphia, I'm going to go and look at that. I'm going to do a thing on that. They got to put it all back up, what they did in Philadelphia. See, this is the stuff that because of his orders to remove our history, you know, the birthplace of this country.
It's a message from a crowd celebrating in Old City right now as history is restored. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington. Some slavery exhibits were returned to the walls of the president's house today, reinstalled by the National Park Service. The Trump administration removed them last month. CBS Philadelphia's Dan Snyder and photographer Ed Spay were there to capture the moment.
Praise God. They're to put it back.
For the first time in nearly a month, plaques and exhibits discussing the lives of enslaved people held at the President's House site were on display again. It was an emotional moment for Mayor Sherelle Parker, who stopped by the site just before noon and thanked Park Service workers.
I want to say thank you, and I want you to know I'm grateful. It's all right, man.
The city sued the federal government after dozens of panels were removed in January to comply with an executive order from President Donald Trump. On Monday, a judge ruled in the city's favor, and 2 days later gave the feds a Friday 5 p.m. deadline to restore the site. Today's site came as a shock to Fred Miller and his wife, who came expecting to take photos of bare walls.
It was just like that. They're going back up.
Marianne Cardellino says she rushed over after her husband saw the news. She had been to several rallies supporting the restoration of the displays. Seeing them today was emotional for her.
Well, it's important.
It is
It
important.
happened.
It
It
happened.
happened. It's a part of our history.
It is.
And you can't deny it.
The Department of the Interior this week filed an appeal to the judge's order. We reached out for comment on today's actions, also asking when the rest of the displays will be put back up. We're waiting to hear back. But folks here today say they hope the displays are here to stay.
Based on what has happened since they were taken down and the outrage that flew across the country, if not the world, that this decision will stand.
This is not just about 6th and Market. It's not just about Philadelphia. It's not just about Pennsylvania. I mean, we need to know that this was the right thing to do for our country.
So in a statement, Mayor Parker said the city knows its legal fights are not over, but that, quote, "We will handle all legal challenges that arise with the same rigor and gravity as we have done thus far." At the President's house, Dan Snyder, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's it. I think I'm gonna go and I'm gonna visit there. I might go. I'm gonna do boots on the ground and just get some reaction from the people with the restoration back. And they said that there is an appeal, so they still have a fight to go, to continue. And they're trying to do, I think, the same thing in Massachusetts. But, that area is the president's house. So you can look down and you can see the foundation where the house used to stand. And you have the Constitutional Center. You have Betsy Ross' house down the street. You have Benjamin Franklin Plaza. You have the Independence Mall. You have all of that history there. And that's history. It's our history. And it's important. And all history is not all good. But that doesn't mean to run from it and hide from it. The truth is the truth. And there's nothing wrong with embracing it. And we're the people, or white people today, are not responsible for what their ancestors did to my ancestors. They're not responsible. We don't hold them responsible. But it's wrong to try to erase the atrocities that was done by my ancestors. They deserve more than that. They built this nation off of slave labor. People were in shackles and chains. Their children were sold. They were beaten and stripped of all humanity. They were given the worst. They were cut open. They were raped. They were babies fed to alligators. They did every atrocity you could think of. But it still is, and lynchings. Let's not forget of thousands and thousands of lynchings. And then go to church on Sunday and say you're a Christian. But they had to answer to God. They're not, what your ancestors did, you're not responsible for. What you're responsible for is what happens today. What you're responsible for when you see ills being done to any community and you are quiet about it, then that's what you're responsible for. You're responsible for that you got hate for people that haven't done nothing to you because of your fears. You're responsible for your actions today. That's what we hold you responsible for. And what you did to my ancestors, you don't have to apologize for being white. We never asked you to. But what we want to let you know is that we forgive you. You should have been asking us for forgiveness. We don't care about the color of your skin. You should have asked us for forgiveness. And we give that freely, not for you, because it's the right thing by the eyes of God to forgive you. That's for us. So we've been forgave you what you've done to us and our ancestors. But what goes on now, that's what you're responsible for. When you idly sit by and watch injustice being done to Black people, and you still try to carry those stereotypes, because that's all they are. They manipulate the news. They manipulate you in thinking that Black people are on the bottom. We barely making it. We thugs and this. This stuff has been orchestrated to keep us at the bottom. But we rise. And I'm glad that I have seen the the Washington's house and all of that. And I have toured that, the Liberty Bell, all that's right there. The Liberty Bell, all that for those who are watching from around the world and those who have never been to Philadelphia. But Philadelphia is historic. So when you come into a black city and you take down that history, because down the street from there, I think it's called Penn's Landing. They were selling black slaves there. There was a selling block there. So it's a lot of history in that area, lots of history. And if you've never been there, that's something, because people, and the thing about it is that it's not Americans that's really visiting a lot of those areas. It's people from around the world that come and tour the history of the United States of America. They go to Valley Forge, they go to Philadelphia, go to Massachusetts, they go to all these founding father areas. So it's the world that visits those areas. And it's important. It's extremely important. And they want to know about American history. And Black Americans, that's our history. It belongs to us. And we don't need any president, regardless of the party, coming in and removing it. Nobody. We stand on it, and we're not ashamed of it. And the only ones that have a problem with it are those who are afraid, those who have fear, those who they have fear. They just walk in fear. But it's a great thing that they put in the display back. They said they didn't put back everything, but it's great that they are doing that. And I think if they try to take it down again, they're going to have, it's a lot of union in Philadelphia. They're going to have a lot of people. And I don't know where that damn black NAACP at. Y'all are weak. Because y'all should have been standing on business on that one. Congressional Black Caucus, all that leadership. Where the hell were y'all at? None of y'all were there. I think, the Philadelphia president in NAACP, she was there. But the national president, that dude that they elected, whatever his name is, he should have been there. He should have been there. Because it's serious. And when they remove artifacts out of Smithsonian, they should have all been there. They should have had a freaking national rally. They're not doing a damn thing. So anyway, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm ranting. Enjoy your day. I will come back on. This was just like I didn't even do a thumbnail. Anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like. I know it's not everything that everybody on here wanted to hear about, but we show Trump, we show his administration, we talk about political news of today. We'll talk about what's trending. We're going to talk about everything. But the whole point is we got to have all of it, you guys. We can't just select everything. And we're not one of them channels that's just going to just focus on everything good. We're going to talk about it all. Talk about it all. We're going to continue support. And if you don't like what Trump doing, you got to pray for him. That's the only thing going to change. You got to pray for your president. You got to pray for those in authority over you. And I know y'all don't like hearing that, but whomever is in the president of the United States, especially the most powerful office in the world, you better be praying for him that he makes the right decisions and that he seeks God, not men. Because, he got a lot of people around him that don't mean anybody any good. They for themselves. They not for, because you white, don't think they not for you. So what happened to Minneapolis, Minnesota, all them shootings and stuff that was going on? It wasn't us that they were shooting. Renee Good is not here. Alex Petty not good. They never thought that would happen, but it's been happening. So you need people that's for all the people. So anyway, you guys, God bless you. I probably would jump back on. Like, this was unexpected, but I thought I was going to be talking about the governors, and they switched it to Black History, so we went into Black History. I had to change the title. God bless you guys. Thank you. Endure. Thank you. See you later, Endure. Thanks for joining us. We do need more moderators. I know I haven't been on here for like the last 2 weeks because I've just been like thinking about, what I want to do, and everything is about being authentic. I do want to get a teleprompter because nothing is scripted. This is not polished. It's not scripted. But it's real, it's raw, and I'm not catering to anybody, any party. I'm catering to God. And I want our administrations to do right by all the people. Unless you for all the people and you want to be just about your race, then you're going to fall. It's going to fail because we're all living in this. We all living together in the same communities. On your jobs, it's a mixture of people. Whatever happens to you, it happens to them. Whatever happens to them happens to you. You know, so when you're wishing bad for other people, it's going to happen to you. You know, what you sow, so shall you reap. So you got to be careful with that. When you're wishing bad for people, it comes back around and affects you and your family. Oh, I don't like black people. I hope that this happened. But then it turns around and it eats at your family. Then you lose your job. Then you can't feed your family. Then you got to go on SNAP. Then you need welfare benefits. Then you need Medicare and, you know, all the things while you're trying to talk down about another race while you're losing everything. So you have to be careful with that because it comes back on you. So anyway, you guys, thanks guys for joining us. Government just following federal laws, then they would have been a reason for the amount of force. Yeah, force employed. Yeah, that's true. They should have just been following. I don't know what was so wrong. And hear me, I'm getting off. I don't know. Personally, I don't know what was so wrong about ICE being able to go to the prisons and arrest those illegal immigrants that had committed crimes in the United States. Why did the freaking community protesting about arresting them after they committed crimes? I don't understand that. If we commit crimes, we get arrested. We go to jail. And you're going to let them back out on the street after they done raped a little girl? They did that in Boston. After they raping and committing hideous crimes and you're going to, you're letting them free? And then you let them go in the community. And that's what happened. Then ICE has to go into the community. They're targeting people. They know who they're going after, but then they got to fight the community to arrest a criminal. And in the crossfires, then they're arresting other illegals because they broke the law by entering in this country. They should have compromised, work it out, allow them to pick every state or blue state or sanctuary state. Let them pick them up at the prisons or jails. Let them pick them up there, and then they won't be inside your communities. So then you don't have to be losing your life over people that have broken the law to be here, and you're fighting for people that have committed crimes since they've been here. They want that voting block so badly. They don't care how many lives are lost. They don't care how many criminals. You know, they said Venezuela released, what was it, 15 million convicted rapists? 15,000, committed rapists that was let loose in this country. You know, all these different people's been getting raped. Little girls. They like little girls. You know, what, over 11,000 convicted murderers? And y'all fighting ICE. Because when they're criminals, they still come in here committing criminal acts. But then y'all fighting tooth and nail. Look how y'all deal with Garcia. Killmonger. Garcia. I think that's his name. Talking about due process. He had $5 million worth of due process before they shipped his ass out of here. Then they brought him back. All this money. And they becoming millionaires because all these people donating money to GoFundMe for this. This is so crazy. So crazy. But anyway, you guys, that's a whole nother subject. Anyway, I'm getting off. God bless you guys. God bless you. Luke, don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe to my other channel, Speak to Sports, and Pray Till All Here. And I'm probably going to try to come back on because this was, you know, I just jumped on here this morning. But God bless you guys. Love you. Thank you, Endure. God bless.